Good, okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and call to order the regular meeting for March 28th, 2025. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission statement is learning for life. Vision statement, Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. That I will entertain a motion on the agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support. Support, Mr. Okay. Any discussion on the agenda? All right. Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda established. No presentations tonight. Thank you for that. Citizens' comments. Is there anybody who would like to address the board for up to 3 minutes? Come on. We just need your name and address, please. Yep.
The podium.
Good evening. My name is Philip Peters. I live at 11044 Borgman Avenue in Van Buren Township, Michigan. I work for the Michigan House of Representatives. I'm here today on behalf of Representative Riley Linting. And my comments are just to clarify something that the office has been getting a lot of questions on, and that I myself have been getting a lot of questions on. About 2 weeks ago, the House approved a government prevention shutdown plan, and what we found out was there were a lot of calls into the office and a lot of word online that was thinking this was the fiscal budget for the year. And just to reiterate for the board members and for any concerned parents or city workers that this was a failsafe in the event that the House and the Senate and the governor cannot come to an agreement by the deadline, which is in fall, then this plan would take effect. So what it did and what caused a lot of concern when there was confusion was this plan was only to fund the core essential services for the state, which do include schools, firefighters, the police department, prisons, veteran services, and paramedics. So it included more than that. But people thinking this was the budget saw a lot of zeros, and there was a lot of confusion about that. So based off this talk that was on social media and the calls into the office, I just want to give those comments. What is in there for people that are wondering about the numbers was a $10,000 and $25 per student allotment, which is an increase from where it was before, which I believe was $9,608. And also for the Southgate Community School District, there was an increase in mental health funding by around $500,000. So this was, I bring that up specifically just because there were a lot of questions about mental health specifically. So going forward, how much time do I have left?
About 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes? Wow, okay. So just to reiterate that this is not the fiscal budget. This was a preventative shutdown plan and a fail-safe should there be a government shutdown. There were some rumors that that was going to happen, so they just got out ahead of it and made sure there was some funding down on the books. Now, the normal budgeting process will continue over the next couple of months, and the deadline is at some point in fall. So, and how it's implemented will determine what happens with this plan, if it's added to it or if it would just replace what was on the books. So in case if the school board is receiving any questions with concerned parents, just know that this is not the fiscal plan, that this was again a fail-safe should an agreement not be reached by the deadline in fall. Are there any questions? In case if anyone has a question or if anyone in the audience has a question as well, I'll stay for the remainder of the meeting. I have my contact cards, which I'm more than happy to give out. I also have the representatives' information as well. But I mean, going forward, I'm sure all the reps have the full intention to fully fund the schools, whether it comes to school safety, mental health, any special needs, or any mental health programs for the year.
All right.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else who'd like to speak tonight? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and we'll close the public comment. Move on to the consent agenda, which consists of the March 4th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, the HR update, and the February 2025 disbursements. I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Cooper. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that is passed. Action item number 1 is approval of the track timing system. Who's presenting this?
Good evening. I'm here to request the approval to purchase the new track timing system. This is the FAT timing system that goes with the accuracy and efficiency for our track events. This is the one that is basically is a wristband that goes on all of our track participants and uses the automatic timing system to go with each participant. That uses the camera at the finish line, and the results are placed up on the scoreboard and is used to give us a precise and accurate result that is then placed up on the athletic.net that is used for each of our track events, as well as will be used in the elementary track event this coming spring. This is an investment that will be used to improve the quality of our events. It will also allow the high school and middle school and elementary events to be more streamlined and showcase our results in real time. Pretty much there is only one type of system that is out there by Lynx, but there are multiple, 2 places that you can purchase this, BSN Sports as well as Lynx. And the one is the Gold Series, which is about $19,000. The other one is about $16,480. Both of them are identical, but the $19,000 one has 2 more components with it, offers 2 more cameras that allow us to time the distance running for the 2-mile as well as cross-country events. So you get a little bit more capability and gives us the option to be able to use it in the cross-country events too, if we needed to, as well as a 9-digit LED display that goes with it at the finish line. So everything else pretty much that you see on there with the camera, as well as the hardware that goes with it, the laptops, the vision camera, are both evolved with the software, as well as the warranties for each year that goes with it. And basically on average each year, we spend about $200 or $2,500 when we have a timer that comes in and times our events. So over the few years, it will pay for itself, and it's something that over time we'll be able to hopefully host invitationals on the weekends, as well as to eventually host a regional. Any questions? Yes.
So I'm trying to get a good idea of what it looks, is it a big system where you dig cables in, or is it just
No.
a tripod?
So basically, it's like a tripod. You put a camera that's at the finish line to where it sits up on a ladder. The camera shines down on it. When you go to a track event, you see kind of right at the finish line, there's all those flags that kind of partition off, clear the area so nobody is around it. And as they basically cross the finish line, it's a photo finish, and it's taking video of it, sends it through the laptop, and as it collects the data, laptop is at the finish line as well as up in the press box, and they basically connect each other. And as the results are there, then you display it on the video board and they can see it up there. And it basically talks to itself, and as the results go into AthleticNet, they are able to update it as each event goes through.
So have we not had that, or do we have something like that now?
We do not have anything like that. basically what you would do is you would have to rent a company or have a company come out and do that. And basically what we're doing is we're cutting out the middleman and going to train individuals as well as coaches and workers to be able to do it ourselves.
So that means that we have been renting over the last more than a
2-3 years.
decade.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to rent?
It's probably,
Anywhere from $450 to about $700 per time, depending on which timing system you get. We were looking for that, and it's become such a hot commodity that if we wanted to rent this year, the closest one we could get was a timing company in Indiana, and they were charging $1,250 for one event.
Wow. And so with the data being sensitive, is there like a long-term warranty on that, or? is there-
Basically, the warranty covers the hardware, which is the computer and everything like that. Everything is run through the website, the Athletic Net, which goes through the MHSAA. That is what is run to keep and house a lot of the track records as they go through. That's what the MHSAA uses to seed individuals for the regionals. And that's where a lot of the records for who qualifies for regional states, and so it's basically works hand in hand.
So that can be data translated or transferred into their main system?
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? No? Okay. Bring the discussion back to the table, entertain a motion on action item number 1.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the track timing system, not to exceed $19,000.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support. Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Action item number 2, approval of the Helen Street Foundation excavation and flat work. Mr. Hanson?
Hello. As you know, we've been working on trying to get our construction trade students the opportunity to construct a house in Southgate and be able to build that up through their time in the construction trades program and have that sense of pride. And once that is completed, hopefully 20 years down the line, while they drive by and say, "Hey, I built that." So that has been a longstanding goal of mine, and the process there has been longer than I expected. But I am here to come to the board to ask for the allotment of funds to be able to pay for the breaking ground, which would be the excavation, the foundation, and flat work, for, to get that house started so that our students can get out there and start building. We've received 3 quotes. One of them came in recently at $149,000 from S&H. Integrity came in at $108,813, and the lowest one we got was from Accurate Foundations with Pro Excavation, 2 companies that work closely together, and their 2 quotes for this work came out to be $70,155. I'm proposing the selection of the Accurate Foundation Pro Excavation based on that price comparison, but also they've had experience working in very similar projects. 10 years ago, they were working with Carlson High School in a similar fashion. They really enjoyed working with the students, and they thought that kind of giving back to their craft to kind of bring new students along and new, hopefully, future contractors, to give them that experience is very rewarding to them. So I am here to ask for $80,155 to cover this. That would be building in a $10,000 cushion for any incidental funds that may arise through this work. And I'm prepared to take any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Hanson?
I just, the discrepancy in quotes was staggering to me. That's all that was. Thought it was
That
pretty
is the,
significant.
in my experience, that's the construction world right now.
That was kind of our experience when we put in the sewage line too. The discrepancy between quotes was astronomical. It was
Yeah, I just,
the ones coming in at double the one we went with, and that came in really well. The one that's the higher one there, the 149, that is a company that is used to working on a corporate side, not a residential side. So I think that is kind of in their wheelhouse that they would put out there, but that is not what we're exactly looking for.
yeah, I was looking at $10 a square foot on that. It was pretty expensive. That,
Yeah.
for the flat work. Yeah, just reiterating why it's so important to get multiple bids. So
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Keep in mind, this is the excavating, it's the sewer line, the water line,
the
the flat.
line
work.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Just the flat work was with wire mesh was about $10 a square foot. I'm like,
And
wow.
yeah,
That's,
and that's, again, if you look at Mr. Hardy, what he's paying for, what we're paying for building a school, that would be closer to that. but
Right.
Building a house.
this is a house. This is, come on.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
I hear you. Any other questions for Mr. Hanson? You got a comment?
I just say, when we looked at this and we tabled it, this looks like those bids are half, but even what we were dealing with like the last meeting with what we thought we had to deal with, this is an astronomical drop in price. I mean, that's crazy. So working on this, I commend you totally for putting the effort into this, for just a great project, but to find the quality, looks like a quality company for the cost differential of what we saw 2 weeks ago as a possibility.
Yeah, it's exciting to see this project moving forward.
Sure.
Yes. Appreciate it. All right, if nobody's got any other questions, we'll bring the discussion back to the table, entertain a motion on action item number 2.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the outsourcing of the Helen Street Foundation excavation and flat work project not to exceed $80,155.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yeah, motion passes. Action item number 3, approval of the bleacher system for tennis. That'd be nice.
Good evening. Our Anderson parking lot project provided cement pads for the tennis bleachers. The district repurposed the baseball visitor bleacher set for one of the pads nearest the new parking lot. An identical bleacher set is recommended for the second cement pad between the tennis court and that parking lot. On the other side, the opposite side, smaller bleacher sets will be used between the high school building and the tennis court. The district has received 2 quotes for this, one from Global Industrial and one from KAB Enterprises. We're recommending the Board of Education approve the purchase of the 5-row GTG aluminum bleacher with mid-aisle and guardrail in the amount of $15,748. This does include shipping. My team, the facility team, will assemble the bleacher once it arrives at Anderson High School. The bleacher comes with a 5-year warranty for the GTG aluminum bleacher. Questions?
Is it closer to, is it on the side of the tennis courts or is it in the front or back of it?
So the pads are north and south, so it's
Okay,
here's
so
the
the
parking
front-
lot, here's the pads, and there's one empty pad right now. We want to put identical bleacher. And then on the other side, closest to the high school, there's big trees and you can't go so high with the rise of the bleacher. Your head will be in the branches and we hate to lose the trees. So we're going to put smaller bleachers on that side and then the larger ones near the parking lot. So these are all ADA accessible bleachers for wheelchair accessibility. So they can sit next to, and then the family can sit with them, and it's right off the parking lot then.
Will this be ready this summer or this?
It's, upon ordering this, it ships in 14 business days.
Oh,
So within 2 weeks, we should have it, and then my team will start to assemble it ASAP after we get it.
good, sounds good.
It's coming direct to high school from the freight company, from this Global Industrial.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Hardy? Sure.
Like the quote discrepancy, huge. Just keep on seeing it, you know? over 100% increase between one and the other, and it wasn't all the installations, so.
Right.
Reiterate,
I think
important to
it-
get multiple quotes.
And not only that, it also helps us by taking on some of the work ourselves, because the $35,000 is what we paid for that other bleacher system when it was subcontracted through a construction manager. So when we move out the construction manager and address these ourselves, we also really get some great savings. So I commend the team for taking on some of the extra work of assembly and managing some of these projects without that middleman. A lot more is going to our kids.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay. If there's no more questions, I'll entertain a motion on action item number 3.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the bleacher system for the Anderson High School tennis courts in the amount not to exceed $15,748.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Mr. Cooper. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. All right, action item number 4, approval of E-rate projects.
Good evening. In previous years, we've had access to receive 80% back on all of our projects through the E-rate USAC funding. Now, with our new count, we receive up to 85 to 100% on our projects. And this January, we put out several requests for proposals, including fiber between the old Asher building and maintenance to make it a more stable connection, internet access, which we currently have as a failover line from WOW when our internet connection with Wayne Risa goes down. So we can come right back up and the kids won't notice a difference. Internet hotspots is a new one this year. We've been paying for them out of general fund, but now we actually get money back for those. Structured cabling for the old Asher building, which will be DMA. We have that in a current project. When we thought the building was being demolished, we had taken it out of there, but we haven't taken it out of the actual structured cabling project. We'd like to do that now because we can actually get 85% of that back now, so it's a significant savings. And then UPS batteries. In 2020, we had requested UPS batteries for all of our current ones in the district, and now they're getting to the point where they need to be replaced again, and we can get that at 90% this year. So in total, the projects would have cost us $48,713.12, but because of the rebate that we have now, it'll be $5,081.40 net. So significant savings to the district. Any questions?
Podium.
So the companies that are listed in the recommendation, like Khajiit and FiberLink and Nerdex Express, have they been vetted and doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we currently use WOW for our internet access now, and our 3-year contract is ending, and we're going to extend that to be a 5-year contract, so it lowers the monthly cost. And then we're also doing what's called SPI billing, so we only have to pay the portion that we have to foot the bill for, and then they ask the government for the rebate back. So it's really just costing us what it's supposed to be. Nerds Express has been out for the last 15 to 20 years. It's a local company with many graduates from Lawrence Tech. They are the only ones that bid on it, but they have been vetted by our E-rate consultant as well as my department.
Thank you.
And Khajiit is who we use for our hotspots right now, and we're going to upgrade to a 4G as opposed to an LTE, and it's going to cost us even less than what we've been paying.
Are you replacing fiber optic cables or?
We're adding a fiber optic cable between the old Asher building and maintenance,
Okay.
because right now they just have a Cat 5 cable that my team has to constantly have to go under the portable in the mud and whatnot whenever they have trouble. So I want to get a fiber cable connected between the two buildings for more stable environment for Jason and his team. But at some point, he's requesting another building to go for truck maintenance and whatnot, and we'll need to extend a fiber line then. So I'm trying to get out ahead of it.
Okay, thank you. That sounds good.
Thank you, Amy. It's curious is that the the money to receive back from the government, is that federal or state government?
Federal.
Federal government.
However, the fiber network connection, this year, they had a state matching grant, so we would have only gotten 90% of it back, but I worked with Kendall McVicker, our state grant director, and she filed for 5% from the state, and they temporarily have approved us, and then we'll get the other 5% back from the federal government on top of the 90% we were already getting. So it'll be 100% free.
It's good.
I like free.
Typical of those UPS batteries is about 5 years, right? That's,
Yes, but we're running low on our inventory, so we want to make sure that we have enough so that if we feel like they're getting close to low in some closets, and Mike has been diligently going around and checking, and we've had some that we've replaced because we felt like they were getting low, so we just want to make sure that we have enough. And then next year is the start of a new E-rate cycle, and I'm hoping that we can replace the devices somewhere in that 5-year cycle.
perfect.
Thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Or did you have any other comment?
I don't weigh in on every item normally. I just want to extend my appreciation and respect for the way that Amy runs technology. I will tell you, she has made money last and stretch beyond what anyone thought was possible. And I know she is a very prudent director when it comes to keeping an eye on protecting the community and community resources and
live
money
here.
that comes through. So I just want to take this time to thank you again for making a project that could have cost us a lot of money and finding ways for it not to have any impact on our financial situation. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion on action item number 4.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the E-rate projects as presented.
A motion by Dr. Pomponio, is there support? Supported by Ms. Angel. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. That,
Thank you.
well, thank you.
Thank
I
you,
will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President.
Mr. Green.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Green to adjourn the meeting. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Dr. Pomponio. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.